Hey, what's up, everybody? So, what I'm doing today, I'm borrowing a friend's porch right now because that's the only place I have to do this ritual I'm about to show you. It's pretty much a cleansing and renewal ritual, kind of bring new and good things into my life and heal and discard the old stuff. So, first of all, something kind of happened with my chakras. Some of them are busted, some of them are clouded, so that definitely needs to be fixed. But I've also been on a spiritual journey for a while now, and this is part of the time where new things are coming into my life, and I want to make sure that stays, all good. So the first thing you ever want to do when you start a ritual, you want to cleanse your area. So pretty much what I got here, I got Florida water, but we're going to be working with fire, so you really don't want to sprinkle this all around because it is flammable and it will burn other things around you if it catches. So we're just going to use the salt for now. So pretty much what we're going to do, you want to open the salt and you want to cleanse the area around. Just make a circle. So pretty much what we're going to do. That way, around us as well. Alright, so now that we got that situated, so we're going to be working with fire as well, like I said. I have the herbs already put in a bowl, and it's a healing mix that I made. It's got like rose petals, living verbena, kind of a Mother Earth mix that I made. And of course we're using catnip because we're working with cat spirits too. Cats are very good healers. They also give you messages. So what I got here is a candle setup. This right here, catnip. We're going to be sprinkling that on the ritual area. We have a black candle for taking away the negativity. And we have a white candle here for purification. And my little helper here, his name is Seven, Amethyst cat. This right here is cat grass. This is kind of a plant ritual I'm going to be using later, but it's also going to be blessed as well to just kind of thank the cat spirits for helping us. Always thank your spirits, especially when they're doing something for you. So, catnip, we're going to be opening this. If I can open it with one hand. Nope. So, open the catnip, and I'm just going to sprinkle it in the general vicinity of where the cat is. Alright. We got that situated. Also have some other plants that are going to be blessed and cleansed as well. Just new start plants, irises and lilies. And it's just right there. This is my stone setup with my chakras. You've got this right here is, of course, going to be used on the temples of my head to get any kind of negative thoughts, negative things just out of the way. We have a rose quartz, that's for the crown chakra. We have a amethyst, that is for the third eye. We have this one, pretty sure this one is for the heart chakra. We have this one. These each have a purpose. The one that I really need to fix most is my solar plexus. That one's busted. And of course we have the other two. So the first thing I want to do before I even start any of this other stuff, of course, make your offerings first. Before I even did anything, I cleansed my blade that I'm going to be using as an earthen. It's sharp, but it's one of my favorites. It's a stiletto. spring. It looks like a sword. And yeah, I did a cleansing on this one and a blessing for it. That's going to be used to cut away the negativity. So we are just going to set that back off to the side. This right here, that is a shark tooth. This was actually a ward that I wore for a long time, and it busted. And I've been, of course, wearing my other ones, but I'm going to be making room for that one again and either using it for something else or I'm going to be wearing it again. But it really did need to be restrung. It's going to be cleansed along with everything else. So what we're going to do first is I have a dragon's blood incense. And we're going to light that one first. Because dragon's blood is really good for protection and just warding away negative things as well. So that's all part of cleansing your area before you start. So lighter. Let's start by doing that. Let it catch. And it didn't want to stay lit. Let's try this again. Sometimes it takes a minute. Alright, and that is a good sign. Yep, that's a good sign right there. It's actually burning. Alright, so we're going to take these pack of matches and we're going to set them over here. So first of all, we have clay figurines here. This one was an old guardian that I made, and he fell apart. Yeah, he fell apart. He was in storage for a while, but he did a really good job where I was living before, because that place was not so savory. This one was actually a garden guardian, and good luck. He's lucky the kitsune. This one's going to get burned, and I'm going to use the ashes of everything in here to create a new, well, guardian, along with some of these things that are going to be used as well. But there's lava rock, and I have a dragon stone here, which is really good for, it's a type of bloodstone. It's good for the cleansing of the blood. Set this over here for now. We've got the clear quartz crystal set up, which is, clear quartz is really good healing. I have a hieroglyph stone, which hieroglyph stone is notoriously good for when you're trying to learn new languages, when you're dealing with voice and speaking. And of course, I'm a channeler. I also deal with speaking. So that's one thing that I'm going to be cleansing as well. And this is a man-made stone called a TV stone. These are actually really cool. So when you take them, you can actually see things a little bit more magnified with them. It's interesting. But so this is my setup. The rose we're going to be using in just a moment for the heart chakra. And that one's got a clear quartz crystal on it as well. So the first thing we want to start by doing, I'm going to be placing Lucky the Kitsune in the fire. Because Lucky is going to be burned and reborn. And so typically what I like to do, I like to use, since this is actually flammable, I like to use this as a starter for fire. So what we're gonna do, douse that. Try not to get it anywhere else. Again, if it catches, it's gonna catch everything on fire. We don't want that. I did put a little bit of my blade wash in there as well, which is a good thing. And that you actually saw a minute ago with the not the hieroglyph stone, the TV stone was actually my wallet. That is a money blessing. New beginnings, new business ventures. Hey, whatever blessings you can get. So the first thing we're gonna do after that is take the match and we're gonna light this on fire. Actually, before we light this on fire, that close up though, we need to light our candles. So the thing with candles, sometimes they light, sometimes they don't. If they don't want to light, don't force them. So we're gonna light the negativity away one first. And then this one's going to be just a little bit different. Trying to get positioning. I am currently filming from my phone, so this is fun. So yeah, this one's for inner peace, and it's also a, well, white candle purifier. So, got our candles lit. Put them where they are out of the way, and you are not going to knock them over. Got our cat guardian there. The feather's going to be used for something else. This is actually going to be used for taking some of the negativity off of me, and I'm going to throw it in the fire. So we're burning things. This is interesting. So I'm going to turn this over here where we have our burn bowl. We're going to take this, not burn ourselves while we strike the match. I'm going to need to prop this up on something. Let's see if my phone will be nice. Will it be nice? It's gonna stay. Alright. Well, we got that settled. Watch this. This is always the most satisfying part. So my match won't light. You know what? We're gonna light it in the candle. And that did not burn. Let's try it again. I might need to put a little bit more Florida water on it. Make sure it's fresh. There we go. Even if the statue doesn't completely burn, I can always do what I'm going to do with this one later, with the Guardian, and just take a hammer to it, pulverize it into a powder, and just use it into the new clay that I use for the new statue. Alright, so now that we got that going, we can set the lighter off to the side. We can set the matches off to the side. We don't need those anymore. And I have another herb mix that I had in here. I had a clear quartz crystal in here for cleansing. This has got myrrh and frankincense resin in it. This is supposed to be for cleansing and balancing. It'll help as well. And once this stops burning, it's going to be smoking because it has sage at the bottom of it. And we can set this off to the side as well. So while we got that going, I want to wait for the fire to go out. It'll take a moment. It's burning at the bottom. I think I saturated it enough with the with the rest of it. This I'm going to move over in front. This is getting moved. Dragonstone I'm going to put on top of the TV stone. So while that's burning, we're going to set up for the rest of it. Stones. Alright. These are Kansas Pop Rocks. There's 2 of them. Typically there's a rough one, and there is a smoother one. And these are very hard to come by unless you buy them online, or unless you have access onto, well, it's sacred ground, really. So, ooh. Well, the fire popped. That says something. Something's working, right? Alright. So, I typically ask my stones what they want to be used for before I use them for anything. So, this one wants to be at the head of everything. And that makes a lot of sense. This one wants to be at the ground, at the feet. So you put one at the head and one at the feet when you're doing a chakra cleansing. Realistically, also, if you just wanted to carry them around, if you put one on one side, one on the other in your pockets, they'll keep you grounded. They'll also keep your energy flowing correctly. So these are really good healing stones. They're some of my favorites. So I'm going to be placing her up here. So we've got her right there. We've got this one right here. And that is part of the process of setting up for this. And the fire keeps popping. It's still going though. Yeah, it's still burning. It's still gonna burn for a minute. But I need it to start smoking before I start this, because that is actually part of the smudging process of cleansing. It's got a strong smell coming from it. Other things are burning in there as well. So what I'm going to do with the Guardian, I'm going to take the lava rock heart out of it, and this is going to be used for the new statue. We're going to place this right here at the foot of the cat. And the feather is going to be set there. So pretty much with the reason why I needed all the space is because you're going to be laying out and you're going to be using the chakra stones on each one of your chakras. And I have my pendulum. This tells you whether your chakras are, whenever your chakras are healed and whenever they're cleared. So it'll typically, spin. And whenever your chakras are healed, typically it stops. And it'll stay in place. Smoky quartz. I've got all kinds of different stones on this one, including bloodstone, which is good for blood healing and just healing in general. Grounding. Got an amber on it. Hematite. Hematite is also good for grounding. It's not a very expensive stone to buy. It's just about the same price typically as clear quartz or amethyst. So I pretty much have everything set up here. We're just waiting for the fire to stop burning. And it's still burning. This may take a moment. The other thing you need to know is whenever you're burning something, don't typically blow out the fire. I've been told that that is actually very disrespectful to the spirits. If you have to snuff out a candle, snuff it out. Don't blow it out. But a lot of rituals call for you to let them burn until they are completely burned. Any of you that are doing a journey kind of thing, kind of death and rebirth, fire is a good element to work with because it is attributed to the phoenix, is also attributed to the dragon. Strength and durability, all good signs, symbols. Anybody who works closely with cats, Bastet is really good to work with. And if you're working in the goetic sense, pretty much the, I want to say similar or same kind of deity would be Baelith. He's a goetic king. Works very heavily with cats. Of course, cats being high energy, that's part of why I use the catnip. It actually gives, it's an herb that actually gives energy and actually is a happy herb. Use it in spells to bring joy. I'm gonna pour a little bit more salt in here. While we're waiting, I'm going to explain some of these stones. So rose quartz, of course I'm using this on my crown chakra. Rose quartz is really good for inner peace, self-love. If you're going through a really rough time, you can use one of these and you carry it with you, use it as a worry stone. It'll take some of that worry and some of that, anxiety off of you. It's calming. It's a healing stone. It works really well, kind of the same as clear quartz, which is kind of a universal healing stone. So amethyst is a power stone. What amethyst does is it soaks up the negative energy that's around you or within you, and just it absorbs it off of you. If you put it in tandem with Tiger's Eye actually balances it out and will bounce that negative energy off of you and the amethyst. Fire is popping at me. This is also good for if you're trying to manifest your psychic abilities. If you're trying to kind of heighten your inner power. These are power stones here. These are very magical stones. And they are a very beautiful purple color. Some are clouded, some are not. And sometimes you'll find, if you look into them and you see them, the little white smoky areas sometimes change. This one is a sodalite. I do believe that one is for the... No, this one's for the throat chakra. The green one was for the heart chakra. So, this one is actually good for communication. Sodalite is a communicative stone. Blue is typically inner peace and healing kind of color. It's got some whites in it for purification. This one is actually for the heart chakra. This is a turquoise. Turquoise is a powerful color. This is more of a dyed one, I think. It's not a typical color turquoise, but turquoise is good for wealth because it's a green color. It is pretty good for good fortune and just all around good things in that area. These two, I'm not sure what they are, but I do believe one of these is a piece of apatite. It's good grounding stone, as well as giving energy. Orange and yellow are typically energy colors. Think about like citrusy colors, like the smell of lemon or oranges. They soak up the sunlight. You can also use sunstone. One of these might actually be a piece of sunstone, if I'm not mistaken. You leave them out in the sun to charge. They'll soak up the sunlight, give you energy, vitality. These are just really good in general for just clearing away any blockages. This one here, I do believe is a piece of onyx. Pretty much any black stones like this are really good for protection. They keep the negative energy off of you, kind of like tiger's eye. They will absorb it, they will push it away from you. These are really good for when you don't necessarily want to be seen, when you just want to kind of slip through the shadows, or you know, trying to manifest your own power as well. These are kind of like amethyst as well, but it kind of helps when you're dealing with some magics that you don't really want anything interfering with them. So these are good to have. These are known as witch's stones. If you can't get a piece of onyx, get an obsidian. Obsidian works good. You can get a Apache tier. Those work the same way. So, lava rock. Lava rocks are good for when you really want to get things done. Think of anything fire. When you want to pretty much burn things away, when you want to get things out of your life. Death and rebirth, things like this. They're really, really good for protecting places, almost like red brick dust. They're good for banishing things that are not supposed to be there. I actually did a spell where I did banishing oil, and I anointed some of these with it and put it in places where I didn't want certain negative spirits being. And it has worked so far. I haven't had a problem. Can put these in tandem with fire things like dragonstone. Can use them with your sunstones. Oh, absolutely love that. It looks like the fire is almost done. So I am going to start by taking this feather and working with each one of my chakras. Take the negativity off of them, and then we're going to double check it with the pendulum. So just hold each and every one. And work your way down. And some people like to work their way down and then work their way back up, which is how I was told it was supposed to be. Before this fire goes out, we are going to stick this in the fire. And we're burning this. This is going to make the fire burn just a little bit longer, but we are going to cleanse that with a tiny bit of Florida water. Ooh. So that negativity has been taken off and burned away. And the feather burned, which is a good sign. If your things are not burning, then typically it means either you skipped a step that needs to be done, or it doesn't need to be done as part of the ritual. Sometimes you've already given certain things to certain entities and they've already incorporated it in, so they don't want you to do that extra step. Sometimes it's just not needed in general. Sometimes you gotta do something else before that. And just always when you're doing magic, go with your gut. You know, if you have something in mind, an idea, use that idea. If the universe says no, if something's falling out of your hand, that typically means no, you're not using this right now, or no, you're not using this at all. If it falls, leave it there until you feel you need to pick it back up and use it for something. Or sometimes it just stays. and it's just there as a safeguard or an offering. So it could be any one of those. So it looks like most of this is starting to it's still burning. The colors of the fire are very beautiful. We've got greens and oranges and blues, purples. All the colors of the chakras. And sometimes when you look into it long enough, just scrying into the fire, you see images, you might see faces, you might even hear certain things. And would you look at that, it finally stopped burning, and it's now smoking. That is what we wanted. Alright, let's get this going so that we can actually finish this video. Alright. So we have our setup. We have our pop rocks where they need to be. I'm leaving the plants right here because they're going to be part of the healing process. My wallet's going to go back where it goes after I move everything that needs to be moved. Everything else is staying in place where it needs to be. The kitsune didn't completely burn, but it's fragile. It should be fragile enough for me to just break it apart and make a new one. And that's going to be significant. So I'm going to start by taking prop my phone up so we can get a good view of everything. I'm actually going to use the burn bowl, I think. This is prop up. Pardon all the moving around. I'm working with very little right now, but sometimes that's all you have to work with. So I'm taking these first, which are my magnetic hematite. And sometimes when I do this, I can see my third eye opening or closing depending on what's going on. It's frequently opening and closing right now. And, you know, when I close my eyes, I can see all the strains of energy, like, in front of it. And when I use these and place them on my temples, I keep them there until it all stops twirling around and it's just one line of energy and everything is cleared. Usually that's whenever my mind has calmed. So psychics, if you ever have this problem where you have a bunch of negative thoughts just coming to your mind, you have a bunch of negative energy just clouding everything, you can't get your mind to stop for just 1 minute, magnetic hematite works really, really well for this. Or if there's just something in there you don't want in there. You know, this is what I do. I just sit here and meditate with them for just 1 moment. Till I can feel everything just calming down. And it doesn't usually take long for me. This is actually why I have this right now, because my third eye chakras and my crown chakras are like, no, I'm hearing things I shouldn't be. And so one good thing for this is aqua aura. Get an aqua aura, and if you pair it with gold, it'll try and kind of wash away all that negativity. And I, of course, have since I work with certain patrons well, not certain ones. I work with a lot of them from a lot of different pantheons. Peridot, it's an August stone. August is the time of the Leo, and Peridot is it's a just as much as amethyst, a king's stone. It's a very powerful stone. It's a stone of loyalty, it's a stone of wealth, it's a stone of good fortune, good health, and truth. One of the things Peridot really does help with is truth, and seeing truth and hearing truth from others. So these are good to work with when you're not sure if you're actually hearing your patrons or if it's something that's trying to mess with you. So this is why I actually have this, so that I know what I'm hearing is right. My mind is protected. So I am going to, first of all, move this out of the way. It looks like everything in that bowl is not smoking anymore. So I'm guessing it cleansed the area just by being burned. I'm not guessing, I know. See, that's the other thing. Never doubt your magic. You start doubting everything, it's not going to work as well as you want it to. So the first thing we're going to do, I am going to place this up here with this one. We're going to lay down without getting everything burned, without lighting ourselves on fire, because that would be horrible. Don't literally become a phoenix. That's painful. Alright, so crown chakra, it's really difficult to just put it on the ground. And what we want to do is use the pendulum, get it to kind of calm down a little bit. Just wait for it to stop moving, because this is the way it cleanses you. This is really good to do out on a very starry night, maybe whenever the moon is full. Just lay there and look up at the stars. Constellations really does help. So we're gonna let the pendulum just cleanse all of this away. And this video has been long enough. I'm just going to show you how to do one or two of the chakras, because it's pretty much the same for all of them. It looks like it's stopping. Or calming. It's a sign that my chakra is cleared. I'm gonna do the crown chakra. So I kind of skipped that one a little bit. That one's fine. We did the third eye first, technically. So the crown chakra was fine. We're gonna use the amethyst and see if that works any better. Or if there's still anything there. There probably is. I have not cleansed my chakras properly in a long, long time. I have not had time. So yeah, this is still... I'm just setting them off to the side when I'm done with them. Throat chakra. I think what I'm going to do after this is place the hieroglyph stone right there, along with it as a blessing. Okay, universe says no, so we're just going to set that back off to the side, or back where it goes. I get the feeling to put it back where it goes. So we're not using those. Alright, heart chakra is going to be a little bit different. So I have a ward that is kind of working with that right now. So I've been working with a patron that is supposed to help, well, give you a good sanctuary, but I preferred to ask him to help me build a good sanctuary within myself. If anybody follows me on Facebook, you probably know what I'm talking about and which patron I'm talking about. He's known as the Giver of Castles in the Goetic sense. So I have unfolded this. It is a there we go. We're gonna put that there. Come on, stay. Actually gonna use something else. I did say I was going to do this too. So it's been charging with the quartz. We are gonna use the rose. Let's fix this. And it folded back. Oh no, it broke actually. No, it didn't break. It folded back. Lay this out, this here, and this right here, or the other way around because that makes a little bit more sense. And it seems to be staying a little bit better. Alright. So here we go with this one. Ooh, that's a sign. That is a sign. So that definitely deflected something. I don't know where it went to. It disappeared. But I know it didn't go off of the porch. But if I lost it, I'm gonna have to buy another one. Not a problem though. Alright. So, we have two more down here.
Need some help?
This is pretty much how all the chakras are gonna go. Just keep it up until all of your chakras are cleansed. I'm using the earthen afterwards. Push all the negative flow down. Or cleanse it off. One down here. Sacral chakra. And then you got the root chakra at your feet. This one's not that bad. And I'm going to collect all of these after I'm done and cut the negativity away from me and all of the stones that I have used. And last but not least, I'm also going to use this one as well. And they are trying to connect to the metal because they are magnetic. So, the last one at the feet. And some of you who actually can feel energy flows will be able to feel the energy surging through you as you cleanse each chakra. It's a very interesting feeling, very revitalizing, I want to say. Alright, so now that we did that, let's get our pile of stones down here. I gotta find the other one that bounced off and went somewhere. And my astrological ring just fell out of my pocket. I'm actually going to need to do something with this later. It's falling apart. And we're going to see if we can't find that other one. I think it was in the plants, or it probably just fell off of the porch altogether. I think it fell off the porch altogether. This is going to be the heart chakra one for now. So I'm going to do one final spin with this to make sure that all of this is good. And this is the fun part. Just meditate on them for a second. Imagine there's all the darkness and negativity that has just come off of you and out of your chakras. And then you want to take your thing and do one swing, cutting it all away. And when you feel like it has gone away, which I don't see it going completely away, and I cut it for myself as well. You feel the energy disperse and you feel better. And that is how you do a cleansing ritual. Hope y'all enjoyed.